Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the debate. Last night, I did stream the debate, so if you joined us online last night, I appreciate you. But today, we're going to go over some talking points. I believe Donald Trump, he had to fend for himself against three people instead of one. I believe Kamala Harris, of course, she had some zingers that she tried to ring in. Did she do okay? I think she did okay, but they didn't fact check any of the things that she was talking about, and she spewed quite a bit of lies. Okay, I think the debaters or the moderators did not give her any pushback, and for the life of me, I don't understand why in the world does Kamala Harris supporters believe that she owned this debate. I just don't. I really don't understand it. I'm really baffled. And then now you have the mainstream media pulling up. You know, they're issuing out statements in news articles talking about fact checking Trump, blah blah blah. But they have not fact checked Kamala Harris. I'm waiting for an article from the mainstream media to say Kamala Harris fact check, because she spewed a lot of lies, like I'm saying. Okay, so that's all on today's episode, on another episode of Business Talks. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap. You guys, please put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. I see. Let's see who we have in the building. Giza Moonshadow. Giza is saying she had on audio earrings. I'm not for sure if she had on audio earrings. I seen that post in Twitter. I'll probably bring that out, but maybe that's why she was able to remember some of the stuff, because like I said, Kamala, we've seen her before. Kamala does not cannot regurgitate her talking points unless she has her notes in front of her, and she didn't have her notes in front of her. So why did she do well? Maybe because she had audio earrings. I'm not for sure. Lexi, it's always good to see you. Shout out to Lexi. Outcast is tuning in from Atlanta. Sam Banks is in the building, Florida, checking in. Hello, everyone. Hello to you. So you guys, if you're not following me, just a little housekeeping. If you're not following me on my other channel, I did start another podcast, and it's a morning podcast. It's called Unpopular Opinion, and I do have a show, a co-host or co-producer. And what we do is we're on episode 2. And basically, we talk about culture and politics. The last 2 shows has been about politics because, you know, the debate. So, but next Friday, we're talking about, you know, something that's happening in the culture. So this, my co-host or co-producer, she has a different political viewpoint than I do. She is a Kamala Harris supporter. So it's something, is our dynamic is interesting. We're still friends, but our dynamics are interesting. She tries to come with the facts, but you know, debunk all her lies. Anyway, so you guys want to go to that channel. Let me just pull it up in the screen. Oops, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to find the channel. Okay, so if you go to this channel, let me share this tab with you. Subscribe to this channel. Okay, it's called Chawanne Burns 2.0 Unpopular Opinion. I'm gonna change this, But anyway, if you want a different viewpoint, I know some people on my channel, on this particular channel, follow me for business content, and they may not agree with my conservative viewpoints, and they be giving me shit in my comments. But it is what it is. I still love you, but it ain't nothing you could do about it. I guess that's a Tiffany here, and you're saying. But if you want to hear some people that's talking like your viewpoints, that's my producer. Super producer. She has she's an independent, but she's more liberal. Okay, so anyway, subscribe to that channel. Okay, let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Now, Donald Trump actually, I think he did really well on this debate. I put a post out there saying who won the debate. It got almost 100 votes, but of course, almost 80% is saying Donald Trump won this debate. Okay, we could say Donald Trump, he answered the questions on, what they posed, and when Kamala Harris was bringing up information about Donald Trump, they were not allowing him to give a rebuttal like they allowed her to give a rebuttal. So that's one thing that I did not like about the debate. And also, when they fact checked Donald Trump, they fact checked him real time. If he said something wrong or whatever, they was there. But each and every time Kamala Harris said a lie, and it was debunked, she was saying lies that was debunked by mainstream media, they just let her go on with the lie. They did not fact check her or debunk her. Okay, so this is Fox News
Media Research Center. They said 100% of the stories covered on ABC about Kamala, 100% of the time was positive. 93% of the time when they covered you, it was negative. So it was infuriating to watch them fact check you and not her when she brought up IVF, when she brought up Project 2025 several times, and when she brought up Charlottesville. Here are some of the lies that she said about you. Listen.
A detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing. Couples who pray and dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. If Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
And the bloodbath, you were talking about the economy. It's a term that's used a lot when people are talking about a bad economy. What's your reaction to why didn't the moderators correct her?
Because they're dishonest, and because I think ABC took a big hit last night. I mean, to be honest, they're a news organization. They have to be licensed to do it. They ought to take away their license for the way they did that. Bloodbath was referring to the economy. Everybody loved the term because as soon as they heard the word, it's sort of a vicious word. But referring to the economy, they have created an economy. Bloodbath was the word that I used. And it was fine in that context. And they were trying to make it sound like there was a riot or something, and it was a bloodbath. IVF, I was a leader on the IVF, which is fertilization. I was a total leader on that. When I first heard about it, like right from the beginning, I was one of the leaders on it, and the Republican Party has been a leader on it. She tried to say it was just the opposite. The whole thing with abortion what he said. I mean, it was incredible. I think he corrected me 6 times. And each time
Mr.
I was
President.
right. I believe each time I was right, didn't correct her at all. And she was saying these things. She was using, like, Charlottesville. She was using Charlottesville, and everybody, you take a look at Laura Ingraham, she did it incredibly. She had it totally debunked. She said that, in fact, it makes it angry. She gets angry when people hear about Charlottesville, when they use that. Because what they did is they stopped and they didn't put the following sentence in. And when they put the last sentence in, when it was all put together, what I said was absolutely perfect. And ABC knew that. Everybody knew that, frankly. I think they lost a lot of credibility. But regardless, look, the polls are saying that I won that by 80-20, 90. We have one here, 92-7, and I sort of believe that's right. I thought, look, I've been told I'm a good debater. I think it was one of my better debates, maybe my best debate. I think. I don't know. That's why I'm disappointed in this guy Harold Ford. I don't know if he's still there, but I don't know what he was watching because he was just as dishonest as ABC, in my opinion.
Okay. That's just a snippet of what Donald Trump, he tuned into Fox. I think it's called Fox in the Morning or whatever, early morning or whatever. So that's just a snippet of it, what they were talking about. But here's are some instances where Donald Trump was pretty much being not biased, but this was like an overhaul, an attack on Donald Trump's character. It's really baffling to me to see how the mainstream media is taking on this candidate that was selected. Kamala Harris was not elected. She was selected. And as bad as a candidate is, her very liberal, extreme policies and her viewpoints, they're taking this on and saying and propping her up and viewing her as this is the candidate that you need to elect. And with Donald Trump, they're like, oh no, bad Donald Trump. Donald Trump is bad when his policies are really great for the American people. So this was just posted up by Western Lensman. This clip may be the most egregious example of ABC debate moderators' direct action / inactions to affect viewers' perceptions of the information presented at the debate. There are at least 7 instances of this within 2-minute span. This is not bias. This is much worse. This is a direct planned interference in the debate outcome. When moderators take on the role of fact checkers, the interference in that the absence of the fact check confers validity to the non-fact check information. And like this morning, if you go and watch the video, me and my super producer were debating, she pulled up CBS. But who's fact checking CBS? We all know mainstream media lies. And maybe that's just a conservative viewpoint, but they do lie. They lie and put out information and spread propaganda to twist your viewpoint on things. So who's fact checking the fact checker? And I think we need to be cognizant of how we're listening to the news, what we're putting in. It's not wrong if you listen to CNN, but I implore you, just don't listen to CNN. You have to listen to all types of media outlet. See what the other people are saying. Don't get stuck in this tunnel vision. And this is why I decided, in this journey of why I really, truly like and support Trump. Because once I started not listening to CNN and start pulling up the facts and doing my own research, I found out, the media is really biased towards Donald Trump. What does he have that mainstream media and neocons, the big, I guess what you want to call it, the corporations and big government, what does he have that they don't want us to hear or they don't want us to have. Okay? I believe freedom. Okay? As soon as you start thinking free of thoughts and open up your mind and start thinking in ways logically, in ways that policies, how they actually really affect you, you really start to go on that journey saying, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't vote this way. Maybe I shouldn't vote Democrat. And not necessarily Democrat, just this particular person. Okay. And that was just my spiel. Maybe I'm preaching to the choir, but you guys put in the chat, let me know what you think. So in this clip, it says Trump says Pelosi is responsible for the security at the Capitol. True. But Muir intervenes on Kamala's behalf by cutting him off with a snarky retort. Doesn't acknowledging the validity of Trump's statement. Or he does not acknowledge the validity of Trump's statement and immediately redirects to Kamala to set up her answer. He knows it's coming. This is direct action by Muir to affect the outcome of his exchange. 2. Kamala says that she was at the Capitol on January 6th. She was there in the morning, but left. This is a good thing. So Kamala lied in the debate. She said she was there when they stormed the Capitol. And we got in a big exchange about January 6th. Was it a riot? Was it an insurrection? Or was it a protest? But she said she was there in the morning, but left to go to the DNC headquarters prior to the riot. Critical information is omitted, not fact checked. Kamala says Trump incited a mob to attack the Capitol. False. Trump's peacefully and patriotically comments are ignored. Trump is not charged with inciting violence. No fact check. Okay. And then Kamala says that some police officers died on January 6th. False. That was no fact check. It was one person that died, but it wasn't no police officer. It was that young lady. But Kamala said many people died and many officers died. No, that's not true. I think 6 people end up getting injured. That one lady ended up dying, and it was from the police officer or one of the security officers at the building. Okay, so Kamala recites the Charlottesville's Fine People hoax. This has been thoroughly and repeatedly debunked. No fact check. Kamala recites that Stand Back and Stand By hoax. This is designed to infer that Trump was ordering a militia to act on later orders when he clearly asked for the cooling of the tension. No fact check. How can you incite an insurrection? This is one thing. That's why I hate when mainstream media use the word insurrection. Insurrectionists usually have rifles. We can't overthrow the government without rifles. We can't do it. We can't stage a coup. We can't stage an insurrection. But we can protest. And so if you want to call it protest, if you want to call it riot, it's all protesting. These people felt wrong, that they felt that their election was stolen, so they had the right to protest. Anyway, Kamala also recites the bloodbath hoax. Trump was talking about the automobile industry, not violence. No fact check. And they, time and time after again, when Kamala Harris would say something that was wrong and false, even with the IVF, they would not fact check her. And let's play this little clip.
Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi. But I do want Vice President Harris to respond here.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the President of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. Let's remember that when it came to the Proud Boys, a militia, the president said, the former president said, stand back and stand by. So for everyone watching who remembers what January 6th was, I say we don't have to go back. Let's not go back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place in our campaign for you to stand for country, to stand for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking the foundations of our democracy because you don't like the outcome. And be clear on that point. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking. Let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a course for the future and not go backwards to the past.
Nancy.
So, and this, you allowed this woman to spew all these lies and you didn't fact check. So that's why I said that this debate was pretty biased. Even though Donald Trump won the debate, I think it was pretty biased of them to just not fact check these lies that's been touted by the mainstream media at one point, and then they had to retract the statements. It's specifically that Charlottesville statement. It's been debunked many a times that he did not say that. The bloodbath statement, it's been debunked many a times. He was talking about the economy. So it's really, I guess, like I said, very biased in that instance. So that was that. And let me see. Now, the another thing I want to talk about, Kamala Harris, right now, people are looking at her like she's a very moderate candidate. If you didn't know nothing about Kamala Harris, I don't think after the debate you knew more about her because, she was basically on the defense. She was trying to, whatever Trump says, she tried to debunk it, or she was putting up information that he's done in the past and saying, oh, you don't want to go back. But she didn't really lay out her policies. If you're a Trump supporter, you already know his policies. And Trump, if you're not a Trump supporter, you could just look on the internet and follow Trump people and you see. You could type in Trump's name and you could see his policies. But most Trump supporters, they know how to regurgitate their policies. But when you talk to a supporter of Kamala Harris, okay, what are her policies? So right now her policies seems to be moderate. Now Colin Rugg put up here top 5 lies that ABC News moderators refused to fact check or falsely fact check during the debate. And this is that mandatory firearm buyback. Kamala Harris told Trump to stop lying about her wanting to confiscate firearms. And she does, you guys. This is nothing that we pulled out on the sky. There's records of her saying, hey, I will support a mandatory buyback of firearms. Harris has previously stated multiple times that she wants to launch a mandatory buyback program. But the ABC moderators, I guess they don't want to fact check Kamala. This is like, oh no, She touted that, oh, I own guns. Why would I support that? Me and my Tim Walz, we own guns, so why would we support that? Total lies. I don't know if she owned a gun, but this is a unequivocal lie. Kamala Harris claimed Trump called neo-Nazis very fine people. This hoax has been debunked by Snoops, but the ABC moderator let it slide. The post-abortion. Trump claimed babies were killed outside the womb in failed abortion. Under Tim Walz, babies born alive as a botched abortion are allowed to be left to die. 8 babies who survived abortion in Minnesota were abandoned and sadly perished under wall. ABC moderators simply said Trump was lying and moved on without adding context. Okay, so this morning, I didn't know this happened. I know he signs abortion, Tim Walz, and I'm talking about Tim Walz. If you go back to my video on my other channel where me and my co-producer were debating about this, we left it at that. I thought, there have never been a post-term abortion. And I don't think it's still the same. Okay, so these 8 babies who survived abortion in Minnesota were abandoned and sadly perished under walls. I think what this is telling us, okay, Walz, if you go to Minnesota, you don't want to take care of your baby or you don't want to have your baby, you can have it here and just abandon it. I think that's what it's saying, but it's not the same as abortion. Defund the police. Kamala Harris laughed when Trump said she wanted to defund the police during the previous interview. Harris said having more cops on the street is wrong. She also supports taking officers out the school. ABC moderator said nothing. We have video after video saying that she wants to take police. She called it demilitarization of the schools. So she doesn't want schools to have police on site. Why should we have schools on site? Because unfortunately, we do have stupid parents that allow their kids to buy their kids guns, and I guess they have access to the guns. So they'll come to the school, they having some type of mental problems, and they shoot up the place. So that's why we should have cops at the school. I don't think it's nothing wrong with that. They have it in inner city schools, so why wouldn't they have it in these suburban schools where all these school shootings at? Okay, so this is the clip.
We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. It's got to be smart. We got to do it the right way.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons?
I do believe that we need to do buyback.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Did you hear that? So I see we have some Kamala supporters. You've been believing this lie that Donald Trump praised neo-Nazis. Let's rewind that, because I hate to get in debates with people and they have not listened to the entire clip.
You had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the Supreme Court...
Other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, this talking point that Donald Trump is such a racist It needs to be put to bed. Donald Trump is not a racist. I know some people are going to be like, well, what about what he said when this? What about what he said that? Look, the man is not racist. He's never been racist. He funded Jesse Jackson political campaign. He was friends with your boy, the racist pandering person. Was it Al Sharpton? He loved Oprah. They were joking around when he went on Oprah's show. They were joking around running for presidency together. So that talking point that Donald Trump is a racist, he used, there were very fine people on both sides. Kamala Harris knows this is a lie, but people are too unintelligent to do their research. So she says that this debate is just basically was to pander to their support. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. They pandered to their support, mainly on Kamala Harris. I can't really say that about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is really trying to push the policies, push the policies and the plans together. But these aha moments that Kamala Harris thought she had, it's really ridiculous. It looks like I kind of lost for words. No one that is questioning about Kamala Harris she hasn't moved the needle. They don't know if they're going to vote for her or not. I would like to, you guys put in the chat, if you were straddling on the fence about Kamala Harris and you typically vote liberal, or if you're straddling on the fence about voting for her or Jill Stein or maybe RFK, even though RFK endorsed Donald Trump, did you say, oh, this was a great debate, let me vote for Kamala Harris? I don't think she changed her mind or changed anybody's mind. Now, black folks, even black women, if we go to Roland Martin, because they did a commentary after the debate, because Kamala Harris, she had her proud black sister moment. All this, she tried to act like she was about to call him a cuss word, and then said this man, that type of thing. Oh, your girl, she owned him on that debate, but said nothing about her policies.
Court had great courage in doing it, and I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Under Governor Tim Walz, this is from the Daily Signal. Under Governor Tim Walz, babies born alive as botched abortions were left to die. Okay, so maybe I misread what Colin Rugg was saying. So botched abortions, they actually, and I'm assuming these were late term abortions, they end up delivering the baby, and then he removed the reporting requirements. So maybe, see, I said that was outrageous for Donald Trump. I was really thinking that was true, but I would have to do more research on that to see what they're actually talking about this botched abortion. So I have a botched abortion. I wanted to do a late term abortion and it wasn't effective. So my baby was still alive, and then I delivered the baby and I just abandoned the baby. They don't have to report those requirements. You guys put in the chat. You had an abortion. The abortion didn't take, and you end up delivering the baby, and you abandon the baby. Is that the same thing as aborting the baby? I'm not for sure. If you're pro-life, you thinking abandon the baby, the baby can't get up and make his bottle and do the stuff they need to survive. So you're basically doing what to the baby? And where are you abandoning them at? Are you abandoning them at a hospital where their chances of survival increase? or I have this baby on wherever and I put him in the garbage can or whatever.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she won.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
Look, right. So here's the thing. Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
And then also, again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools and taking police officers out of schools.
On that point, Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it, went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
Yeah, so that's the bloodbath comment. He was specifically talking about the economy or the economics of manufacturing industry. Monique okay, let me just go to Dave Singerman. He said, oh, come on, Chawanne, you're smarter than this. Dave Singerman, the Daily Signal is a fart right wing rag. Come on, man. Okay, so you saying Daily Signal. That's what I said. I have to look more into that comment. But what I'm saying throughout the debate, they never fact check Kamala Harris, but they're fact checking Donald Trump. Lexi is saying Kamala was bailing out Antifa and BLM. Yeah, Donald Trump was mentioned that in the debate. And, you know, I don't even think she had a comment on that. I think he kind of made her be quiet on that particular part. But yeah, she was raising money for BLM rioters and supporters that were arrested during the riots. Monique is saying, I remember Virginia governor in favor of it late-term pro-choice. He mentioned making the babies comfortable until the mother chooses. It's infanticide. Yeah, I know there are several states that support these late-term or late-term abortions, and I guess it would be like post-term abortions. They support it, but I don't know if it's actually been done. Okay, I know there's laws in that you could actually get it, but I don't know if it's actually ever been done. Justin Thompson, the ex-governor of Virginia, stated that he would support if the baby was alive, that the mother and doctor could decide after. Yeah, that's to me, that is really kind of sick. Kings on Live, what ABC did was shameful. Not one question to Kamala. Yes. She tweeted the link. You're talking about, raising the money to support the BLM rioters. Yeah. Kings on Live said, no wonder Kamala came out of hiding. She knew her friend on ABC was looking after her. Yes. And do you think they're going to do another interview? I doubt it. I really sincerely doubt that there will be another debate, because to be fair, if I was Kamala, yes, I want to do several debates before the election, but she's not going to allow people to know her. That's why I think if you're a Kamala Harris supporter, what do you truly know about Kamala Harris besides she's bringing joy to the White House? If you say she's bringing joy, people that knows Kamala Harris, she has a 95% turnover rate in her administration. That's why she doesn't have the same campaign manager. Usually people that's been in the campaign industry, they kind of keep the same people. You could say mean things about Trump, but he has his supporters. He has people in his ear that's been there a very long time. Kamala Harris doesn't have that. So how much do you know about Kamala Harris? I hear she could be pretty mean. She has a really mean streak towards her people that works for her. And Donald Trump mentioned that when he was being petty. Donald Trump said, yeah, to tell you the truth, to be honest, Joe Biden don't even like her. He said that during the debate. Joe Biden doesn't even like her. But we knew this. We knew this going into the summertime when Joe Biden kind of flunked out that debate with Donald Trump. We knew that there was something brewing in the background. Kamala Harris basically stabbed her boss in the back to steal the election. They basically forced Joe Biden to step down. Her and Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, and some of the head leaders of the Democratic Party forced Obama to I'm keep on saying Obama and Barack. Joe Biden to step down because they claimed that they would invoke the 25th if he did not step down. So all that 14 million votes that he got during the party nomination, during the primary, those went to Kamala. Okay. Let me get to some more of your tweets. Yuck Fotu, Lexi, hey friend, hope all is well. I didn't mean to read that. I'm all in y'all business. Hey Lexi girl. Derek Cannon, Kamala is smiling because she knows that she's got mainstream media supporting her. That's why they're like, she's smiling like, ha ha ha, I got you. They said those earrings in her ear were listening or audio devices, so they could kind of tell her, okay, you need to say this and this. Maybe that's why she did so well. Okay, I'm just gonna go back when I get a chance, probably later on today. I'm gonna go back to see what Kamala cadence is like, because you could tell if somebody's talking in your ear because your cadence change. I'm a slow talker, so my cadence is whatever. Kamala Harris, I'm not for sure about her cadence. I had to go back to see what was she like in her other debates, because her cadence was much slower in this one. That's what I noticed. So is this a conspiracy theory? I'm not for sure, but they said, somebody pulled up, and you can't hide nothing from the internet. Kings on Live is saying it happened in Minnesota or somewhere. Baby gets born through unwanted. The hospital just leave it unattended to die. That is so sad. That is sad. Celeste Hodges need to listen to Judge Joe Brown. He knows her and the family. That'll open your eyes. Yeah. Yuck Fotu said, I think Kamala has had like 80% turnover rate for her staff. I read it was higher than that. I thought it was like at 95%. She had a high turnover rate. And they said she's really, really mean. She's very, very mean-spirited to people. She was similar to that one representative that passed away. Remember I did a video about her, how she was berating her staff, calling them an effing idiot and all that stuff. Yeah, okay, you get some staff that maybe they are idiots, but do you call them an effing idiot? You just like, okay, these are my expectations. If you can't meet my expectations, I'm going to have to hire someone that can, and your services are no longer needed. No, she berated them and called them all kinds of names. I hear that that's the same for Kamala. And I also hear that she has a drinking problem. MB Burke says, she did not change my mind. The whole world is going crazy. We need change. She was disingenuous. Why no 25th Amendment? Yes, Lexi, Sheila Jackson. That's was what it was. Or who it was. Sheila Jackson Lee. Yes, last thing I want to point out with this whole thing, I have to leave because my son has a doctor's appointment, but before I go off, now people were laughing about this whole scenario remember I just did a video about they're eating dogs and ducks and chickens, not chickens, but dogs and cats. Haitian illegal immigrants are in Springfield, Ohio, and eating ducks, dogs, and cats. Okay. During the presidential debate tonight, Kamala Harris and ABC said there were no credible reports of Haitian immigrants eating people's pets and local geese. And he said that. I forget what the guy's name is. You guys put in chat. I've lost the moderator's name. He said, yeah, we called the local superintendent or blah, blah, blah. And they said we had no reports of this happening. That is a lie. Here's a copy of official police communications from Springfield, Ohio, which proves police did in fact encounter Haitian illegals who each killed a goose. Read the highlighted sections. It says 2 females, all Haitians, each had 2 geese, 4 geese stolen. They were speaking Haitian Creole. Okay, so this is the communications between Clark County Communications, and this is a detailed report. I could kind of enlarge it for you, but it's basically, I don't know why I did that. It's basically saying where they were at. That's the city of Springfield. They didn't put the complainant information down, but they do have a description of the Haitian people. And then they were talking about in this highlighted portion, each had 1 goose. Then she put it in her text 2 goose, but each had 1 goose. This happened on August the 26th. Okay, now if you go back to my prior video, and that video is starting to get more views because thank Donald Trump, he put it out there. But this particular lady is a video footage, police footage of Springfield, Ohio, where the lady is actually eating the cat. Okay, and you hear the officer asking the people that reported the incident or whatever, and they were like, yeah, she was down on the ground with the cat, and he was like, was she eating the cat? They was like, yeah, she was eating the cat. And the officer said, took her picture, and she didn't respond. I don't know if she spoke English, but he said, did you eat the cat? We didn't hear her say no, but then he says no. And he said he took a picture of her and said, open your mouth. And he took a picture of her mouth, But she was in handcuffs. They were arresting her. I'm sorry. I thought you guys saw this tab. I forgot to share it. But this is the detailed report about the geese. The geese that was that were being killed or killed by the Haitian women. They said Haitian women. And then also in my video, I did discuss how during the Springfield, I guess this is their local community, it's like a town hall meeting, one of the residents actually confronted the officials, the officials not doing nothing. They were just sitting on their hands, and he went into detail of what he's seen or what he's encountered by these Haitian immigrants. And he explained they're flipping cars, they're running up into people's homes and businesses, they're going to the park and killing geese. You know, he witnessed it from his own eyes. So for ABC to say, no, this report is unfounded, well, these people are not lying. These people don't have nothing to do with the guy that was talking in the town hall meeting, had nothing to do. These are all separate incidents, had nothing to do with the lady getting arrested for eating the cat, killing and eating a cat. And then it had nothing to do because in my YouTube video, I actually read off somebody's post, and a lady was saying her friend was missing her cat for a couple of days, and when she was coming home, she looked at her neighbor's house and saw the cat strung up like you would a deer. You know how they deblood the animal so they could get ready to skin it and eat it. That's what she saw, and it was her cat. So the lady that was friends on the post had nothing to do with this report, had nothing to do with the report from the guy at the city hall meeting. They don't know each other. So how can we say these things are unfounded and untrue? You guys let me know. Tyler Olivier did a video about this. Crazy what's going on in America. That cat-eating woman wasn't in Springfield, I don't think. It didn't happen. It did happen, but I think it was crazy normal America, not an illegal. I know, you know, if you look at the video, it says Springfield on the Springfield on you know how they have like the caption to claim like a watermark. That's what it said on the watermark. Well, the video that I showed. D. Rand said it's propaganda. No, it's not true. It wasn't in Springfield. So like I said, if you go back to the video that I posted, there is Springfield. Apparently, the Haitian men are being super rude, disrespectful, and aggressive towards women. Well, you got to think about, if we talk about immigrants, they don't have the feminist movement in other countries. So they come over here and thinking they could talk to women any kind of way and disrespect women and pay no consequences, because that's what they did in other countries. So that's what they're going to do here. I'm not giving them saying it's right or wrong, but that's more of the reasons why some of these people should be vetted. Actually, all people should be vetted when they come over here. If you're an illegal immigrant, you're illegal. You shouldn't be doing business over here. You shouldn't be working over here. You shouldn't be living off the land over here unless you came over here legally. And I think they should add, when they vet these people, go through a process of American ways. You guys might not agree with that, but you're an American, so you have to conform to American ways. We just don't go to the park and kill a protected animal. Some Americans might not agree that these animals should be protected, but they are protected. So these are the laws of our land. And if you can't If you don't know what ignorance of the law doesn't mean that you could break the law. Is that what? I know that's not the saying, but basically that's what they're saying. You don't know the law, so you could break it. No, that's not what we should be doing. And it's so funny. I see Yuck YouTube, maybe it was Springfield, and this crazy lady eating a cat was in New York or somewhere around there. Okay. Kings on live. So cats and geese being eaten, crimes risen. This time the left won't say it's toxic masculinity. Duran saying that's nonsense. That is how the legal immigration process is. They have to learn the laws and the culture things. That's what I thought. I thought it was like a process for them to actually, okay, you're gonna be over here, and you gotta follow the rules, X, Y, and Z. I'm pretty sure they got pamphlets maybe in their language. Not for sure how that works, but. When they did a video with when the ex-person of Homeland Security, I don't know if she stepped down or not, but Homeland Security lady that was in charge of Homeland Security, she was saying, oh, we showed them this video. They were questioning her about the children that was missing. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Taylor Swift has now vocally supported Kamala while calling herself a cat lady. I'm not for sure. Yuck Fotu explain. D-Rain 7 explain. I guess D-Rain saying it's propaganda. I really wish you wouldn't use the word propaganda, because if it was propaganda, it would be mass messaging. Mass messaging is propaganda. You got the same talking points. If you click on the CNN, they have the same talking points of, the other ABC, MSNBC, NBC. That's propaganda. But we didn't find this on the news. Someone on the internet, this is why we have freedom of speech. We're able to look up information. Someone on the internet posted this information. Now, can we say the information we find online, it might be fake? Yes, but you can't fake and I'm specifically talking about the video. The video I had, or that I'm showing, it is cops in the video. This is a body cam video. So you can't fake that. Duran, so you're Haitian, and I'm not saying that your people, all your people is doing that, but this is, like I said, this is the people, the information that I found. But Duran is saying, Chawanne, I support your platform and I have a lot of respect for you. But as a Haitian man who's here legally, I can't stand people talking nonsense about my people. Even Ohio police, that's not true. Duran, like I said, I can't fake this information. I don't know none of those people that came online and posted those videos. I don't know them. That's what they're saying. Maybe you are offended. One of my old boyfriends were Haitian. And he got mad at one of his Haitian neighbors because he lived in an affluent neighborhood. And one of his neighbors ended up buying the house, like not next door to him, but the other house down. And he used to get mad at one of the Haitian individuals that bought the house because they was farming chickens. And this is the city. This is Detroit. So they were farming chickens, and they used to cut the chickens and string them up or whatever. He used to get pissed off about it, saying, "Hey, why are you doing that?" And since in Detroit, there's laws that you cannot do it. So people, the people next door to him was calling the cops on him and all that good stuff. But he used to get mad. My ex, he used to get mad about that. And he's Haitian. So, I mean, some people come from different, just because you're Haitian, that don't mean you had the same background or upbringing. That's just like saying black folks. Black folks do certain things in which they don't. All black folks like chicken. No, not all black folks like chicken. You kind of crazy if you any kind of folk and don't like chicken. And I'm saying fried chicken. But my mom, my son, he gave me a revelation saying, Mom, I don't like chicken. I was like, oh, you don't like chicken? And then he was like, I don't really like watermelon either. I'm like, what kind of Negro is you? You don't like chicken or watermelon? But, like I said, I'm not trying to attack Haitian individuals. I'm just saying immigrants, illegal immigrants, and some of the things that they are accustomed to that we're not. Duran said the point is that that's not true at all. We don't eat cats and ducks, LOL. But I'm not saying ducks. A lot of people eat duck. I had a duck in my freezer, but I'm not just going to the park and killing a duck. I'm just not doing that. All black folks don't listen to Sexy Red. All black folks don't listen to Sexy Red with her jive ass. Many of these folks are coming here straight from prison countries and emptying out prisons and sending their worst, not their best. Exactly. They're clearly eating domestic animals. The people going to town hall meetings voicing their concerns are not propaganda. They are scared. Yeah, it's not propaganda. Okay, so, that's all I got to say about that. You guys put in the chat, let me know what you think. Tomorrow, we will be going back online. We're talking about politics. Tiffany Henyard, Village of Dalton and Thornton Township. They did have a meeting last night. I don't have enough time to view the meeting because it was about 3 hours long, but I want to chop it up, and get the main points out of it before we talk about it tomorrow. Okay. So I really appreciate every single last one of you guys. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you tomorrow.